Bonus pod time. Welcome, everybody. It is Friday night, and here we are on Fantasy Football Today. It's Adam Aizer and Heath Cummings. Geno Smith going to the Raiders for a third-round pick. And you know what? Why don't we just throw Christian Kirk to the Texans for a seventh-round pick in there, Heath? Which is a bigger one for fantasy, you think?
I would say the quarterback moving, Geno Smith, creates a lot more certainty on one side and uncertainty on the other.
Yeah, it's good, right? It's good for Bowers, for Myers. Good.
I would say it's definitely good for Bowers. You had the Bowers McBride poll earlier in the week, and I think that one's been settled now. We know that Bowers got enough of a quarterback upgrade that he is definitely the tight end one. With the wide receivers involved in this deal, it's really kind of a holding pattern. With JSN, with DK, because we don't know where he's going to be playing, and with Jacoby Myers, because Jacoby Myers might be replaced as the number one wide receiver in Las Vegas within the next week or two.
So Geno Smith, how big of an upgrade are we talking here? He had the 30 touchdown season 3 years ago when he was QB 8 per game. Since then, he's been QB 22 per game in 2023 and QB 19 per game in 2024. And that was 17 games, 15 games, 17 games in those 3 seasons. He did get back to the yards. 4,320 yards is really good, but only 21 touchdowns, 41 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons after 30 touchdown passes in 2022. So, how big of an upgrade is this, do you think, for the Raiders?
I think Geno Smith's floor right now is very similar to the upside that the Raiders had at quarterback last year, with like the very best of Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell is a lot like the worst we've seen from Geno in the last 3 years. So I don't know that I really believe that Geno Smith has the upside to match that 4,000 yard, 30 touchdown season. He doesn't have DK Metcalf on this roster, even if he has Brock Bowers. But it's like I said, it's a stabilizing factor for Brock Bowers. You're expecting him to match or exceed what he did last year. Now he has the quarterback that could help him do it. One of those situations where we maybe feel better about the impact for the team and those around him more than we are excited about Geno. He was a mid QB2. He will be a mid QB2.
What do you think about the offensive philosophy for the Raiders? They had the 4th most pass attempts in the NFL. Geno Smith, Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly. What does it all look like to you, do you think?
I think you could see a small step back, but again, the last year was kind of a weird year when you look at the last 5, because I don't think their pass attempts last year would have been the 4th most in the prior couple of years. So I would expect we're going to see somewhere around slightly above average in terms of a pass rate, 570, 580 pass attempts, assuming Geno Smith stays healthy and plays 17 games. Again, if there's a small step back, there should be an increase in efficiency because Bowers is playing with a much better quarterback. And we talk a lot when you talk about Trey McBride, like the thing that pops up in everyone's mind is the touchdowns. Oh, he's definitely got some positive touchdown regression coming, right? Well, Brock Bowers had 5 touchdowns on 153 targets. That's a 3.2% touchdown rate. Geno Smith, these last 2 years, when the touchdowns have been way down, has still had a 3.8% touchdown rate. Even if he's that bad, you're talking about a major boost for Bowers, who should be, based on his style of play and his size, should be amongst the team leaders in touchdown catches.
By the way, I'm just looking this up right now. This was a real surprise emergency. Get on the air Friday night. I'm cleaning the kitchen, and then all of a sudden I'm doing a podcast. I'm just looking where Chip Kelly's 4 teams ranked in pass attempts in his 4 seasons. So I'm 3 with the Eagles, 1 with the 49ers. This is, more than 10 years ago for some of these seasons. So, but in case you're curious, I'll tell you right now. So in his first season with the Eagles, they ranked 27th in pass attempts, but then 5th, 7th, and 6th. That's 6th for the Eagles. Where were the 49ers? 29th. So he had 2 seasons with high pass volume, 2 seasons without it, which means we really don't have anything, I think, to take away from it.
Yeah, I think what you can take away, though, is looking back at those teams. You see Colin Kaepernick, you see Blaine Gabbert, you see Mark Sanchez, you see Sam Bradford, you see Nick Foles. And there may be one more. Who was it in 2013? But like I think we can pretty fairly. Oh, we had 6 games of Mike Vick. It was. I would say pretty confidently that Geno Smith is the best quarterback that Chip Kelly's had in his 4 years in the NFL in terms of passing.
And Chip Kelly did a pretty good job. I mean, they scored a lot of points. They were fourth highest scoring team in 2013, third highest in 2014. In 2015, the Eagles were 13th. And then not such a great year, as I recall, from 2015 with the 49ers. They were 27th in points scored.
I think what you have to question, and I wouldn't put like this is just a question mark. You said several times about Doug Peterson. It seemed like the more he coached in the NFL, the lower his offense is ranked. And yes. Did teams kind of figure out what Chip Kelly was doing? And after 2 seasons as a top 5 offense, he has a middling offense, and then he has a terrible offense. So he is a bit of a mystery box for me. Mm-hmm. But there's upside there.
All right, let's talk about this from the Seattle standpoint here, mm-hmm. and how you're feeling about JSN at this point. What do you think the odds are that the Seahawks do the same or better at quarterback at this point than they had with Geno Smith?
I like their chances of doing the same a lot better than I like their chances of doing better. If their plan is we're going to go get Sam Darnold now, then maybe they could be the same as they were last year in terms of quarterback play. If their plan is to somehow like try to go get Shedeur Sanders or draft Jackson Dart, then I think they're probably going to be worse.
Yeah. So someone's asking in the chat, is JSN worrisome now?
There is. So I think when we were talking about Tyler Lockett's gone and DK Metcalf's on the trade block, you were looking at JSN and thinking, wow, there might be top 12 upside for him next year. I think that still exists, but you do also have the risk now. There are times when guys get permission to seek a trade and they don't get one worked out and they end up back with their old team. Sure. If we have a worse quarterback and DK Metcalf still on the team, then you have to start wondering, is JSN even a number 2 wide receiver? I wouldn't say that this necessarily impacts his upside, because it's possible they could still get a quarterback as good as Geno. It makes him a little bit more fragile in terms of a projection, because if the quarterback's worse and DK sticks around, things could be bad.
And yeah, I say this all the time, but remember, I said it yesterday or whenever we podcasted, they fired their coordinator in Seattle because they wanted to run the ball more.
Right.
And, we don't really talk about Ken Walker a lot, but this could be Ken Walker's team, for as long as
maybe they want Justin Fields. Maybe they just want to run the ball with Justin Fields and Ken Walker.
No thanks. Justin Fields, not good for JSN. Not good for JSN.
I do not think it would be good for JSN. I would agree with that.
Yeah, wouldn't be necessarily bad for Seattle, though. All right, thank you.
You can't imagine they're bringing Russ back. So, and if they bring Adams in and trade DK, or they bring Rodgers in and trade DK, he's probably going to bring Adams. It really needs to be Sam. Really needs to be Sam Darnold.
Needs to be Daniel Jones.
No, I'd feel about the same about Daniel Jones I would Justin Fields. He's Justin Fields with less upside.
Monday's going to be a lot of fun. What are you doing for the rest of the night, Heath?
I've got some company that's on their way over to the house. That's why I said we gotta hammer this one out right now if we do it. But no, just spend a little time at the park with my son. I actually won a game of horse, which I rarely win anything with him on the basketball court anymore. So that was fun. He'll be really happy that I told all you people.
All right. Thank you, Heath. Enjoy your Friday night. For those of you who just tuned in, 921 people watching live right now it's 7:41 p.m. Eastern on Friday. That's really cool. Thank you so much for that. I hope you enjoyed this bonus pod. A lot more for you throughout the week ahead. For Heath Cummings, and thanks to Thomas Schaefer for setting this up on short notice as well. I'm Adam Azer. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. I forgot to end the stream. I'm going to do that right now.